Straight Talk with your host Reggie B. Come on, let's all join in. Free your voice, it's your choice, alright here. Oh, Simply Straight Talk.
Hey, come on in, have a seat.
Hey, appreciate it.
Would you like something to drink?
Some of that fruit fuels water if you got it.
I sure do. Let me get you a glass.
What's been going on with you?
Not much. Just trying to figure things out. After everything fell apart between me and Angelique at the cafe. I'm just feeling hazy about some of the decisions I made recently.
Bro, you got to man up. Start living your life for you. How long were you planning on standing in the background while Angelique danced in the limelight, pulling you around on a leash? I told you her and Melissa ain't no good.
I don't know the reason why, but women could care less about understanding men or what we really need.
I hear you, man. It's not like we don't try to understand them.
So you try to understand women?
Hey, I tell them the truth. Now, how they interpret it, well, that's on them.
Hold that thought. I want to hear this. Reg, come on in, man.
Fellas, what's going on?
Nah, not much. James is just explaining how he provides women with the truth.
The truth. You talk about honesty and factual information. Or you talking about misleading dialogue followed by manipulative behavior.
Oh, you two Eddie Griffin and Eddie Murphy now.
Anyway, how did this conversation even get started?
Mr. I am controlled by the WAP. Scared to be a man without his woman.
Hold up, wait. Am I missing part of the email chain? Because clearly I was not CC'd on some stuff that's going on with y'all.
James shared some details about Angelique that I wasn't aware of, and when she got back from her trip, we had a falling out and haven't spoken to each other since.
What details are you talking about?
Fellas, let's just talk about something else. Drew trying to clear his mind, so let's pause this for now. We can review the tape another day. Right now, let's just help the man get his mind off things.
Yeah, let's talk about something else.
Okay, I'm confused as hell right now, but I'm gonna roll with it if y'all want to.
Have you spoken to Angelique lately? Oh, and I'm sorry about the hotel situation.
No, I thought the two of you were catching up. Last time it cost me $690. 690 bones, okay? I was asked out. $690, okay? Oh, whoa, hold on. Back a little bit. What hotel situation? Y'all need to tell me what's really going on.
Hey, you two need help for real. What did we just agree on, bro?
No, you're right.
Okay, I'm not gonna push it. I'm still confused as hell, but I'm gonna need some clarity on this stuff later.
Anyway, men are simple, and most women think of themselves as being so complicated in life. That's why they can never keep a good man.
That's a good point. When you think about it, James makes good sense.
Are you really co-signing with him? Every man, okay? Every man may want similar things in relationships, but a lot of times, dude, that's on how it's delivered. That's what makes the difference. It's not about women being overly complicated. You know, it's more about how you communicate with someone, whether it's male or female, in a way that they can receive it.
Man, please, get out of here with that wimp talk.
Shut up. That sounds like some Melissa garbage talk.
Hey, watch it now. Andrew, can I use your restroom?
Sure, it's down the hall on your left. You guys want a refill on your drinks?
Yeah, thanks, man.
Hey, let me get one of those too, man. I appreciate that.
That's Reggie's phone. Look at this. Angelique calling and a text message from Melissa. Let me handle this real quick. Reject call and phone off. Later for them fake bougie wannabe queens.
Woo! Had to get that ward out. Oh, whose phone was that? That was you?
Yeah, just had a couple of thirsty old heads calling, you know. But I handled that.
Hello to every one of our Simply Straight Talk listeners. Are you ready to free your mind and free your voice? Well, you're listening to the right podcast. So let's get this real talk started with your host, Reggie Maddox.
Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Simply Straight Talk Show. This is your host, Reggie. Man, listen, today we're going to talk about crossing the finish line alone. Because there's a lot of people out there right now who are doing it on their own. They don't have that backup, for whatever reason, they're solo. And when they cross that finish line, there's no cheering party. There's no congratulations. It's just them standing there, kind of maybe wishing somebody would give them a little cheer forward. That's of true sincerity, or they're trying to figure things out on their own, or they just move on to the next thing. So now, all right, let's keep this conversation real. Let's keep it honest. Somebody, it may be you right now listening to this show, is holding it down on your own all alone. Everything is on you. That's whether you are a single mother or a single father, who we don't acknowledge all the time. But there are single fathers out there that are raising kids. You may be paying bills. You may be starting a business, putting your life back together. Hell, you may have a business already and you're trying to take it to the next level. Maybe you're trying to pursue a sports, musical, entertainment career. Whatever you're trying to do, you are out there doing it all on your own. Now, some people have things in the works, okay, and they're doing it alone. But we also have people who have gotten their business to the next level. People who have fought their way out of a debt. You know what I'm saying? They recovered from being homeless. They've overcame an illness. They survived an abusive relationship. They wrote and published a book. They dropped their first song they ever wrote. They went back to school and they got their GED and their degree. And somebody out there has even lost a great deal of weight. They're physically healthy now, and still there is no one cheering for them when they made these achievements in their life. Every day they're doing it alone, and still nobody is recognizing them. It's like, put it like this. You're a football player. You score a touchdown. And after you scored a touchdown, nobody from the team congratulates you. Nobody comes to shake your hand or high five or do a dance with you. Everybody just goes their own way. But when other people score, you see them getting celebrations, but you don't get a celebration. You hit a home run. Nobody's cheering for you. There's no crowds. There's no fans. It's just you. You literally stand and receive in the presence of the reward or the accomplishment that you have made. And you're looking around and it is dead silence over your achievement. Every day, so many of us are waking up and congratulating other people, while we often are left standing on the sideline of our own achievements. And some of us are at the starting line or are at the finish line of our accomplishments, and we are alone. Because you may have people who are riding with you, but by the time you get to the finish line to where you have accomplished your goal, they've gotten what they needed, so they just went ahead and hopped off the bus. This is the reality of life. This is what a lot of people are dealing with. This is what a lot of people is facing in their everyday life, because they don't have that support. They don't have that cheering squad. They got a lot of people who's taking, but very few or any in reality is actually giving back to them. Now, we got to acknowledge, just a few reasons, on why some people may feel, or put it like this, why some people may be enduring life goals and obstacles, and they're doing all this by themselves. Why? Why are some people in the position to where nobody's cheering for them? They're doing things alone. Why are they in this position? Some people may have been in relationships and relationships have ended. Maybe they were in a marriage. You got divorced. Maybe the family member and people are all, teaming up with the other person. So you feel alone. Maybe you come to realize that a lot of people, who are attached to you were only attached to you once you was in the relationship. And they feel like now that you're out of that relationship, you add no value to them. Maybe you don't have the connections you had when you was in the relationship. Maybe they seen that you taking a step or two down in status, so you're not relevant to them anymore. Family conflicts. Family conflicts can lead to self-isolation, and it can lead to exile. Because sometimes when a person gets into a conflict with family members, they really begin to feel like, I have nobody. Especially if you made your family the most important part of your life. They came first. But when those relationships crumble, either the family can, exile you and say, we don't want you, they make you feel uncomfortable and unwanted. And then on the other hand, you can go into self-isolation. You can feel that your family doesn't want you around. You can feel that your family's interest is not, they don't really care about you. If you've seen something happen within your family, we have a lot of dysfunctional behaviors in modern day families. So when this happens, it can make a person go into self-isolation, or it can make a person go into exile. Also, we have negative and disappointing interactions that has led to distrust in people in general. And a lot of times when a person has, just been involved with people and they try to be that social active person and they've been disappointed so many times by how they've been treated by other people or let down by other people, they really begin just to have a distrust of people. So they don't let other people in. They do what they have to do and they build a wall. Some people feel unworthy and they have low expectations in other people because they have never been sincerely treated like they were appreciated. So they themselves now feel unworthy. Like, what I'm doing is so small, nobody's going to care. This is no big thing. It's just something I want to do. Nobody else cares about it, because you can have people who have ambitions and goals and other people will laugh at it. They'll mock it. You'll have people that tell them, oh, that's a waste of time. You should be doing this. Why are you doing that? They'll question it to make you start questioning yourself. Other people are tired of being the one to give and they're just drained. So they don't share their ambitions. So they don't share their goals. They're not looking to really connect with other people because they feel like everybody they come in contact with, the majority of people rather, that they interact with are takers. They're taking their, positive energy. They're taking, resources. They're just taking from them and now they're feeling drained. So they start to pull back from people. It happens. It really does happen. People get tired. They get tired of being drained by other people. And like I said, it's not always material-wise. A lot of times it's emotionally. People normally emotionally get drained before they get drained based on material stuff. And in other cases, a person's voice, their ambitions, their dreams and goals, like I was saying earlier, people could have just mocked them and laughed at them so much that they don't share anything. Even when they do make an accomplishment, they don't want to say anything. Not publicly, not to the people they know, because that circle of people around them has criticized and laughed at them more than supported them. And those people around them don't understand. And even when they do find out that they made an achievement, they're like, oh, well, why didn't you say something? Why didn't you tell me? You should have said something. It's like, you laughed at me. You mocked me. And they don't recognize that they're the ones that put that person in that mindset of where they don't want to deal with you or share their life with you. Because your over joking has created an insecurity in people. And sometimes people don't realize that when you make fun of people's ambitions and goals and dreams, when you talk about them, you can really cause that person to feel like, you know what? I do it, but I'm not going to tell anybody. And sometimes people will hesitate on completing their goals and dreams because they put too much power into what other people think about what they're doing. Now, somebody is probably thinking, well, that's on them. If they don't have the self-esteem or they have allowed other people to discourage them, you know what? Truthfully, any one of us can play a key role on how a person feels about themselves as a person and their passion in life. how you talk to somebody, what you say to somebody. When you hear somebody speak and they're telling you about something that they have a passion about, your reaction to that can discourage them or it can motivate them. And a lot of times, we actually do discourage people. When someone is telling you that they want to draw, or they want to be an artist, or they want to write poetry, or they want to do something that they feel like they have a passion about, but you go into people don't make money at that. Oh, how you going to make money at that? Really, nobody reads those types of books anymore. Nobody listens to that anymore. And that's especially common with Black people. We have a habit of saying, well, Black people don't do that. Well, maybe this is the first Black person that's going to do it and make it a success. We got to get out of that bubble and we got to stop attacking people. Even if we feel like we're doing it in good humor, understand when somebody is relaying their vision to you or sharing their goals, that's a deep thing. When somebody tells you, I'm really passionate about this, I want to get into graphic art, I want to really start creating movie scripts, I want to start actually writing books, I really want to go to law school, but some people will only see your past and they can't associate the fact that this has been inside this person the whole time. The whole time this person had this passion. But because you never seen it or heard it, you mock it and laugh at it, which creates doubt, which creates fear. So you can affect how a person sees their goals and dreams. You can put that person and make them feel like negative and disappointed about interacting with other people. You can make them distrust other people. You can create self-isolation. You can make a person feel exile. You can drain a person. The truth is, we all need cheerleaders in our life. We do. Maybe not every day, but as we walk down the road of life, at certain times, we all need someone to cheer us on, somebody to encourage us. We do. Why do you think so many people post so much stuff on social media about their life? Maybe they're just looking for someone just to validate their existence. You understand what I'm saying? Or just acknowledge their presence in this crazy world. Because oftentimes we pay attention to so much stuff except for the people that are actually really around us. It's amazing when you sit in a restaurant, you'll see more people on their cell phones while they're sitting with someone else. And then when that person commits suicide, you're like, I don't understand. They never gave me a clue. They never said anything. Maybe if you was listening instead of being on your cell phone, you would have listened and heard what the person was saying. And I think that's the problem we have today. That's why we find that a lot of people are crossing the finish line alone. But it's not a bad thing. Because for some people, it gives them focus. As you can tell by what I'm saying, some people are a distraction. So if you are somebody that is working and doing all this stuff on your own, all the weight is on your shoulders. You're carrying the carriage. You're pulling that thing. Don't stop. And I understand. Trust me, I know what it's like. 3 years ago, I lost 2 or 3 years ago, I lost 73 pounds. And some of y'all may have heard this before, but I lost 73 pounds. And my thing was, when I go back to Atlanta, it was two people like, oh man, these are my two cool people. I want to have lunch with this person. And, the other person I was going to meet and have lunch with. And we was all they was going to see me and be like, wow, he lost the weight. Congratulations, Reggie. Man, you did it. Oh my God. I wanted that, sort of like cheerleading thing from them, celebrate my touchdown. But when I got to Atlanta, the other person was too busy. We could never get to lunch. The other person was also too busy. And it basically just ended up to where I end up getting on a plane and absolutely no one recognized my weight loss. No one knew it. And I was so discouraged. No joke. I was so discouraged that I went to Texas Roadhouse and I got the biggest steak they had. It was good. Too many onions, but that was my fault because I ordered extra onions. But it was good. It was good. But hey, y'all stick around, man. I just want to share that with you because I want you to know that you're not alone when you're out here trying to do things and you're doing it on your own. But you know what? Y'all stick with us because when we come back, I want to give you some tips as for those people that are walking and doing it alone, because I want you to understand that I got some great tips for you to help you stay strong, help you stay motivated. And we're going to do this, and you're going to recognize that this is going to pay off for you. But you got to stick with me and come right back after this break.
We'll be back with your host, Reggie, on Simply Straight Talk.
Hey, are you looking for some great music, upbeat and with a positive voice? Well, the song I Stand With You is exactly what you need. This timeless song has a pop version sung by Audrey Carmel. And a reggae version sung by General Steele, now known as Revelation.
Now I know some days you may feel blue, Lord. Trust in your greatness to see you through.
These songs are now available on iTunes and other digital platforms for download. Don't miss out. Get your copy today.
Give life your best, and I know.
We hope you're enjoying the show. As our listeners, this show is made possible because of your support. Make sure you click the subscribe button and leave a comment. Thank you for being a part of the show, and now back to your host, Reggie Maddox.
Hey, everybody, and welcome back to the second part of the Simply Straight Talk show. Man, today we're talking about crossing the finish line alone. I'm talking about everybody out there who's doing it by yourself, whatever you are doing. And nobody's celebrating you when you reach a milestone, when you achieve that goal, when you are bringing that dream into reality. There are no cheerleaders, no motivators. Nobody's encouraging you. Nobody's on the side of the road as you run by like they're doing those marathons, handing you a cup of water to refresh you or clapping for you or calling your name saying, come on, man, keep going, keep going. Come on, woman, keep going, keep going. You don't have that. But I want you to know it's okay. It's okay. You see, for those of you who are out there walking alone on this journey we call life, and you reach one of your goals and nobody is celebrating you, nobody is taking you seriously, well, you are not alone as you think, and you should not or ever minimize your accomplishments or goals. Because I'm sure you all know you met somebody that say, man, I want to be a stand-up comedian, and people laugh. But that wasn't the joke. So don't get discouraged. Make your joke being the end result when you can come back and tell people and they can see you on stage and people laughing. And they can say, man, I remember when you said that. And you can think to yourself, I remember when you laughed too. You gotta keep yourself motivated, empowered, and inspired. Everybody is not going to follow your dream. Everybody is not going to see your vision because it is not them focusing, planning, and working on your dream. Their eyes are not your eyes. They cannot see what has been given to you by God for you to do. They don't understand the fire that's inside of you. And if they're not adding fuel to that fire in the form of motivation, in the form of encouragement, then you need to limit that. You have to remember that, yes, you may be doing everything alone right now. And you may feel like, man, I need a win. I need somebody just to say, hey, you did good. I need somebody to say, wow, you made it. Wow, I see what you're trying to do. You got this far. Don't stop. Keep going. You're killing it. You need that. Everybody needs to hear that. Even if you're a person that lives alone, you need to hear that. And I told y'all before, if you read anything I talk about when it comes to me doing this podcast, me writing poetry, me writing music, everything that I do is about you not having to feel or experience what I experienced. So if I can give you any advice through any creative format that I have, it is to help you to understand that I don't want you to have to experience. I don't want you to have to make the mistakes that I made. Now, I'm a person, honestly, I am alone I would say probably 95% of the time in my life. And I'm being serious. I'm being honestly dead serious with you. That's how alone I am when it comes to the things that I do. I really am. So I don't have people that I go hang out with. Normally I'm working, doing this, doing that, doing this, doing that. And like I said, listen to what I said in the beginning. You have to understand that when you're focusing on a goal, you're focusing on a goal. People are alone for different reasons. At this time, I think it's important, that we discuss some emotional behaviors that could affect your mindset. Living your life in a place where you stand alone, it may cause you to feel detached socially from people. And I'm telling you, everything I'm telling you is because it's something that I have experienced. Because there are times when I do feel detached socially. When I go to the store, it's like, oh man, I got to get out of here, because I'm used to being alone, and that's not a good thing. So that's why I make an effort to try to get out or be a part of some forums. But it's important to maintain some connections, even if it's an activity that is just comprised of people who share the same interests as you. Sometimes we expect positive feedback from our circle of people in our lives, in our own little bubble, and they really have no understanding of the things we are trying to accomplish in life. It's like if a person is heavy into Star Trek movies, okay? Like I am into Star Trek. I am Star Trek. If me and a Star Wars person talk, I want to talk about Star Trek. They want to talk about Star Wars. Even though it's two similar, movie genres, the characters are different. If I'm a person that's into writing books, where this other person is into video games, that's going to be a different concept. They may not know how to motivate me because they are into video games, video graphics. I'm into books. I'm into literature. I'm into reading. So you have to understand that the people around you, sometimes they're just not intellectually on the same level as you. They can't connect with what you're doing. And that's not to say that they're stupid or that they're dumb. It's just that they do not have the understanding to grasp what you're into. And you may have a difficult time grasping what they're into. So you got to get people that's in that same area as you, because you might find people support you better when they understand what you're doing. Because the one thing you have to be mindful of too is discouragement. Because discouragement can enter our minds quick and fast. If we rely too heavily on other people, to acknowledge, your previous, hold on, I'm getting myself confused. I'm getting riled up. If we allow other people to really affect how we think, and going back to my previous comment regarding, earlier regarding, needing encouragement and cheerleaders in our life, people can discourage us. So we need people, but we got to be mindful of the people that we do embrace in our life. We have to update our self-motivational playlist. Think of it like this. When you get tired of hearing songs on your playlist, either you seek out new songs that offer like a new, distinct experience musically, and you have to treat your motivation playlist in the same way. Yes, music is a good choice, adding gospel songs that are empowering as well. Try also listening to motivational speeches. There are a ton of motivational clips, movie scenes on YouTube. Read motivational books, but you must limit negative people and media. But that's why I say you got to create a motivational playlist. What is it you go to when you start to feel down or discouraged or disappointed about what's going on in your life, about people not supporting you, not getting that emotional support? Create a motivational playlist. It will help you. It makes a difference. You need something to go to. Don't make your goals and dreams about impressing other people. The things you are working for should be long-term, and they should relate to a legacy that you want to build. Friendship, relationships, marriage, girlfriends, and people in general are not always going to be reliable motivational factors, simply because relationships change. When that relationship, that friendship, or that family dynamic is broken, you may begin to wonder, what's the point of me doing this now? And all of a sudden, you feel empty and you feel like you wasted your time, but you haven't. Stay focused, but treat yourself. It's important to stay focused and accomplish your goals, but it's just as important to treat yourself up. Treat yourself. Set up reward dates for yourself every so often, It doesn't have to be anything expensive or extravagant, but you will be surprised how a massage, a spa day, dining out at a new restaurant, going to a basketball game, a football game, you know what I'm saying? It can make you feel alive. Make sure your reward involves something that is customer service oriented. There is no one that celebrates me, but when I go to a place with good customer service, it just feels good, to have someone, kind of cater to me. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes just having a good cup of coffee or a specialty drink with some type of bakery feels good. Doing something to where you're sort of the center of attention for that moment, it kind of uplifts you a little bit. So make sure you treat yourself and learn to bounce back. You have to understand how important this is in order for you to maintain a positive and happy lifestyle. People who are alone or face struggles will experience negative thoughts. It's just natural. You're human. It's going to happen. You're going to have thoughts telling you to quit. No one cares. You're missing out on life. You have to clear these thoughts out of your mind. And don't allow them to linger, because the longer they linger, you're going to wallow in it. This is why it's so important to have a motivational playlist that you can go to in order to counter those negative thoughts. Some good music, some good movie scenes, some motivational speeches, some, T.D. Jakes, Joel Osteen is actually magnificent. His sermons are really good. Regardless of how you feel about him as an individual, get the message. Right now, I'm asking you to get the message. Don't focus on the person. Focus on the message that's going to get you out of that negative mindset and into a positive mindset. All right, guys. We're going to take another quick break, and I'll be right back with the final thoughts of today's show.
Free your mind, free your voice right here on Simply Straight Talk.
Hey, we all know that Atlanta, Georgia is a big city, and sometimes you might need just a little bit of help. But you know what? That's why we have Legs Concierge Services. Are you looking for someone to help you with errands, event planning, dog walking, organizing, shopping, or maybe you're in need of a personal assistant? Then you need to contact Legs Concierge Services, operating in Atlanta, Georgia. For more information on these and additional services, contact rarmstrong105@gmail.com. That's rarmstrong105@gmail.com. Remember, time is precious, so let Legs Concierge Services help you enjoy it so much better.
Are you ready for the straight truth? Reggie, what's the final word for today?
What's up, Simply Straight Talk listeners? Today, we are talking about crossing the finish line alone. Now, listen, I know some of us have been through some things. We have gotten out of situations that have caused us to be alone where we are right now in our life. And I understand that sometimes it can be hard to push that out of your mind because you think of everything you're working for. You're thinking of everything that you're going through in order to get to the finish line. Or maybe you've gotten to the finish line and you're looking back and you're thinking, man, if this wouldn't have happened, if that wouldn't have happened, this would have been so much sooner. Maybe I would still have these people. No, listen, people leave your life. And when they leave your life, however they leave, it doesn't mean that yours have to end. So if you are out there walking on this road of life by yourself, I know it's going to be cold sometimes. I know you're going to feel lonely. You're going to feel empty. But the thing about it is this. You are working towards crossing that finish line. And a lot of times you can hold on to thoughts and memories of people who just honestly, if they would have stayed in your life, they would have held you back from crossing that finish line. So you need to keep moving forward. Create that motivational playlist that keeps you going and come to the understanding that everybody in your life is not going to be a supporter of you. Everybody does not want to see you succeed. And the greatest form of accomplishment is getting past that line. Not so you can brag, not so you can show out. It's like that person, it's like two people trapped on a desert island. One person says, I'm going to go and look and gather things. The other person says, that's stupid. You don't know what's out there. You don't know what's here. But when a storm comes, one person is in a cave. He's got some fruit. He's got some things he found on the island he can eat. He has water. The other person is outside freezing. Don't be the one that goes without because you feel like other people have to validate what you do. They have to validate what you are. The longer you live and keep going, you're going to come across people that will eventually begin to support you. You're going to come across people that's going to look at you and say, you know what? I was wrong. Wow, you did it. And someone will openly say, I never thought you would get that far. I can't believe you got your GED. I can't believe you got your diploma. Wow, you got your own restaurant. Wow, you have your own stand-up show. You're a writer. Whatever you want, whatever your passion is, other people are not going to see it. But I want you to stay focused. Don't get discouraged. Learn to bounce back quick and hold on to where you are and what you're doing. All right. Hey, thanks for tuning in to the show, man. I appreciate all the support. I will definitely will be back next Friday with more of the Simply Straight Talk Show.
Thanks for joining us this week on the Simply Straight Talk podcast. Make sure you visit our website at rmviagem.com, where you can subscribe to the show on iTunes, Libsyn, SoundCloud, or Spotify, so you'll never miss a show. While you're at it, if you found value in the show, we'd appreciate a rating on iTunes, or if you'd simply tell a friend about the show, that will help us out too. Thank you, and see you next week.